Okay, so here's our alternate take for Captain America 3. It's going to take place right after Ultron. So just to remind you guys what happened in that one. It ends with Thor leaving, going back to Asgard, Hulk in a Quinjet going we don't know where, Tony basically leaving, and now the new Avengers are all in a compound upstate. They're no longer in Stark Tower, with Captain America leading them. So and then we'll just get right into Cap 3 from there. So, see what takes off.
So, we're starting off the movie with Captain and Falcon hanging out in the gym. So, last time they were doing some running, but now that they're doing a little more of the upper body strength. And Captain America is teasing Sam about his lifting, because, and then Sam's standing there as he's lifting, what would you say, 700 pounds?
700 pounds, yeah.
Easy, 700 pounds, easy, squatting it, no problem. And then Sam's just looking and going
yep.
Damn.
The classic.
And then they start talking about Bucky a little bit.
Yeah, in Ultron, they talked about Bucky, so now we're going to have them talk about, Sam trying to follow the lead, still every lead going cold, with, very, very, natural conversation going on. And then from there, we jump into our first action sequence, which will be the new Avengers team. So we'll see them in action. So we got Scarlet Witch, we got Vision, Falcon, War Machine, Captain America, and Black Widow, all going on a mission. Yep. So we see them in a DC warehouse where there's still an active S.H.I.E.L.D. base run by that Hydra shield. Because in the Winter Soldier, we see that, Hydra kind of got through S.H.I.E.L.D. So this base is all the remnants of that, S.H.I.E.L.D. with Hydra's influence in it. Right. So that's who's running this last base. So they're there to take it down. And Black Widow is downloading all the files that they might have to see what information they might hold here. So, and then through that, they discover that Rumlow, you guys probably know better as Crossbones, so they discover here that he got out of the debris and he was saved by Hydra scientists through modifications, making him slightly enhanced, they think.
Okay.
So, she's trying to encrypt all the S.H.I.E.L.D. files, which eventually goes to Maria Hill, because these guys are S.H.I.E.L.D. remnants, but they don't have all the full access, so they're still actually trying to decrypt the files that Black Widow leaked to the internet.
Yeah, so Maria starts explaining that most of them weren't higher-ups in S.H.I.E.L.D. when S.H.I.E.L.D. had been taken over by Hydra in Winter Soldier. Most of the people who are here were people like Rumlow who were given missions and stuff like that, but had no top-secret clearance.
They were more like field agents.
Yeah, so they're not able to get the encryption keys in order to unlock the files. But also, somehow, neither is Maria. So she's sitting there as they're having this whole conversation after they've broken down the warehouse and gotten the data. She can't get through certain files right now, just trying to get through them.
Yeah, and Maria, we see that she works at, I think, Stark Industries now after Ultron. But, she has an office still in the Avengers compound because, Stark finances the Avengers, so it makes sense she kind of works at both places.
I think it's a fair assumption to make that Stark takes over and becomes some kind of de facto S.H.I.E.L.D. It replaces some of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s
at this point, at this point in the
MCU,
I would agree with that.
This is after we cut now and go to the next scene. So this is just like in Captain America Civil War, where we have now Zemo finds the ex-Bucky handler. I don't know where it's at. I guess in Romania somewhere or something like that. And this is where he starts asking for the mission report.
It may have been Russia.
Maybe in Russia,
okay. Yeah.
So he's in Russia probably, asking for the mission report details. In this case, it's not really a mission report like it was in Captain America Civil War. He's just asking for information about the Winter Soldiers. And then, while he's asking for more details, the ex-Bucky handler does the same thing he does, where he fights off any urge to tell Zemo, even while Zemo has him upside down and threatening to drown him, and lets himself die for his own pride, like Zemo tells him to.
Yeah. Then after that, we see a massive terrorist attack that happens at the King's Cross station in London. And just like in the Civil War movie, Bucky is implicated in this, and he's wanted, and his picture's all over the news.
Yeah, every single news station immediately is reporting of a massive terrorist attack. A bomb has exploded at the train station, and Bucky's face is now flashed all over the place, just like it was in Civil War. While the terrorist attack is happening in King's Cross, and they're still trying to clean up from it, another hostage situation now goes down across the English Channel in France. This is the same exact day, so it's only a few hours after. Now, Captain America, Falcon, and Black Widow do go, because now they know Bucky might be implicated in this. However, when they get there, it's not Bucky, it's Crossbones, just like it was in Civil War. Yeah. And then this is where Crossbones mentions Bucky as they're trying to fight him, and it distracts Cap, and he's able to get away.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one, he just uses Bucky's name to get away from Cap, he doesn't try and blow him up or anything. He knows he's like outgunned by them, so Cap's about to capture him basically, and he says, Bucky remembered you, this and that, and then Cap's taken aback. Bucky gets away. I'm sorry, Crossman gets away.
Right, exactly.
So now at this point we have Cap, Falcon, and Black Widow. They all went through Winter Soldier together. So now we have the three of them debating over what's going on with Bucky. Whether he's being framed, if it's all just maybe Crossbones framing him, what's going on. What's because Cap has a really strange gut feeling about something, but he can't put his finger on it. So they're all trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yep, and then this is where they go back to the bunker or the compound in upstate New York, right? Yep. And this is where Maria Hill, they're back with Maria Hill now, and she's still trying to decrypt the files from the base raid. And this is where Sharon Carter shows up, and Sharon and Cap start talking, and you can take it from here.
Yeah, then we have it where Sharon brings up that her aunt helped found S.H.I.E.L.D., and she actually lets out that her aunt is Peggy. We have it revealed here.
It becomes a bit of an awkward moment as they're both realizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the original reason she came here though was to give basically the Avengers, but more specifically Captain America, the file on Bucky, because now they have found him, and she wants to give Captain America that same heads up she gave him in Civil War. So because it's his friend, to
exactly.
Find
So
Bucky
this is
first.
where Sharon is obviously going against her directives as a CIA agent.
Yeah, just like in Civil War.
She's
going against her superiors.
She's putting herself in danger to do this.
Yep, because Captain America's her friend, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Bucky and Cap meet, and this is just like it went down in Civil War. So this is when they meet in his apartment. The police show up, and the same crazy scene ensues, and then in this case, so it's just Captain America and Falcon, and then after Bucky leaves, we see Black Widow comes into the scene. So she's going to replace Black Panther's role in this, and she's fighting him on the rooftops. Black Widow obviously can't run as fast as Black Panther or Captain America, so she just serves the role of slowing down Winter Soldier just enough, slowing down Bucky just enough so that Captain America can now chase after him. So, still at this point, Captain America does not know what Bucky is up to, whether he was just, he has gut feelings, just like he did in Civil War, but he doesn't know what's going on. As they're running through the tunnel, that scene has to stay. It was an awesome action scene.
Yep.
After they run through the tunnel, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or the police get Bucky and Captain America, and then they take Bucky back to the CIA base.
Yeah, which is the Joint Terrorism Task Force in Berlin.
Right.
So in this one, Captain America and Falcon just get kind of scolded for helping Bucky, but we don't have the Accord situation yet, so it's not like a big resting scenario. Just they're kind of reprimanded verbally for what they did, but there's no like law and order consequence to this. And now after this, we cut to Zemo dropping off the EMP, like the same way he did in Civil War, and then we have him shows up as in place of Bucky's, supposed psychologist, and he engages the EMP. He makes Bucky go into full, mind control mode.
Yeah, he activates the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, activates Winter Soldier, trying to get information out of him, just like in Civil War. This one, though, it's not about mission report from, Tony Stark's parents being killed, because that doesn't happen in our version here. He's just trying to get more information on the Winter Soldiers, who he knows, the other ones exist. So he's trying to get more information about them.
Yeah.
So then we have, the same thing happens where Bucky wakes up. Bucky is on the rampage now. He's going through the compound. He's fighting off CIA agents. He's fighting Sharon Carter. He's fighting Black Widow.
Yeah, so there's another big horde level action sequence going on, just like it was in Civil War.
Yeah. He eventually gets on the rooftop with Captain America.
Helicopter scene happens.
The classic helicopter scene. And this one, though, is a little different. Once the helicopter crashes, Captain America and Bucky and Falcon don't escape to a warehouse because they're not all wanted for the Accords. They just instead bring Bucky back inside and try to figure out what was going on with this psychologist guy and what just happened. So then Bucky explains what Zemo was asking him about the Winter Soldiers and all that, and that Zemo definitely obviously wasn't the psychologist. And then we have Sharon and Everett Ross give more info about Zemo, how they have proof that he was framing Bucky and that he was ex-Special Forces.
So this is where they all start to head towards the Siberian base now, right?
Yeah, because now Bucky has revealed that he was after information about those Winter Soldiers. So now obviously they're just assuming that he's a terrorist who wants to activate these Winter Soldiers to just cause chaos. So they all head there to stop him.
And this is now they all get onto one of those planes. Well, what's the name of those planes?
Quinjet.
The Quinjet. So now they all get on the Quinjet. and it's Falcon, Black Widow, Bucky, and Captain America, right? And this is where Falcon, as he's sitting there, decides to give a little quip and be like, now would be a good time for the Hulk.
Yeah. And then Cap responds, saying, hey, he's still missing. There's no time to even get the other Avengers for help right now. We're already on the way to Siberia. But when he says that, he sees Black Widow looking sad, and he feels bad because when he responded with that, he wasn't really, thinking about her and how her and the Hulk had a thing, and he disappeared.
Yeah.
So then he, he asked her, because they got really close in the Winter Soldier movie, and even Ultron a little bit.
Yeah, so he starts opening up a little bit of a dialogue after he sees that. And he's like, I could tell when you were, flirting with him, it wasn't really just flirting. There was something more there, wasn't there? And then Black Widow opens up a little bit, and then afterwards, having a little bit of a back and forth, she snarkily says, there, are we friends now?
Yeah.
A little bit of a throwback to Winter Soldier.
Yep. And then she then asks Cap about the whole Sharon thing, because, she found out about that too.
And he's like, yeah, I don't know. There's something about her presence, And Black Widow just laughs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is premature, imagine her responding.
Yeah.
And then she ends the scene by thanking Captain America for being a friend.
Yeah, a lot of that ties into Winter Soldier and their relationship in that movie, where Captain America, just trying to get closer to her, and she was kind of being very standoffish because she's a spy and all that. So
so it's all the throwback to those emotional chords.
Yeah,
exactly.
It shows them getting a little closer and all
we're
that.
We're not world class voice actors, so I'm not going to try and do ScarJo. Not yet.
Yes.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah. So then after the Quinjet flight, now we have the meeting at that Siberian compound, and the fighting starts in the ice.
Yes. So this is the epic first fight scene in the ice. So this is where the Iron Man and Captain America fight scene happens. So this is happening now in the Siberian bunker. Yeah. So one of the things Captain America was alluding to in the Quinjet was that they really don't have enough time, because Bucky and Maria Hill's information basically has said, the 4 Winter Soldiers, they are powerful enough that if they can get out, based on their assassin capabilities and stuff like that, they will be a significant threat to the world order. But if you can contain them in Siberia, they really can't do much in the first few minutes when they're out.
Yeah, they're very strong. I think they're all each a little bit stronger than Bucky, but it's not something that Captain America thinks that they can't handle as a 4-person team.
But they need to make sure they can only handle them at Siberia.
Yeah, if they contain them. Yeah, because once they get out, then even for the new Avengers, it'd be a bit much to handle all the political strategies they can use and assassinations and all that stuff. Yeah,
and you need the whole.
So they're really in a rush job to get them contained, essentially. And in this one, Zemo doesn't murder them. He actually does activate them for his purposes, which we don't know what they are exactly yet, but he does activate them. So when Captain America, Falcon, Bucky, and Black Widow get there, they are activated and they do have to fight them.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then Zemo's just watching from afar like he did in Civil War.
Yeah.
As Black Widow keeps an eye out for Zemo. So she's not fighting the Winter Soldiers.
That's right, yeah.
Bucky, Falcon, and Cap
That's right.
Are having a nice epic battle dispatching the 4 Winter Soldiers in this fight scene. And you wrote it's a melee-style Buck and Cap versus the Winter Soldiers. Yeah. Oh, but just like Iron Man, so you have Iron Man punching them and throwing the shield, and there's all these hand-to-hand, close quarters combat stuff going on.
Close quarters, very much how Bucky and Captain America tossing the shield back at each other while they're being on Iron Man. I want a lot of that going on, showing that they use their teamwork to take out the 4 stronger super soldiers.
And this one doesn't get that close. Maybe Falcon gets hurt a little bit. He's the only one I can imagine getting a little bit beat up from this fight. Yeah. But Captain America and Bucky, they. We saw them easily, both of them are readily handling Iron Man.
Yeah.
And in our case, the Winter Soldiers are not as powerful as they were made out to be in Civil War, so we imagine them being able to easily dispatch these 4.
Also, Bucky and Cap have a lot more experience actually fighting and being out in the field, so I think it's believable they, take them.
I think so,
And they have Falcon's help, so I think it's all, a pretty, it'll be a tough fight, but it won't be almost near death or anything.
That's what I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, this is where Black Widow stops Zemo from killing himself, and then she just turns him and goes, you don't have that option.
Yeah. And this is where they interrogate Zemo, and they uncover his plans and his motivations. And so here we learn that basically Zemo's origin here is his main motivation too, is that he doesn't really have a problem with the Avengers per se, like in the original Civil War. He is an ex-special ops officer, and so his main problem is the use of super soldiers and how unfair it is for a country to use that. It's a country that already has nuclear weapons and advanced technology has to also use super soldiers. And we also want to have it where his parents were also big in the military community, and they maybe were top agents or something. And so the Winter Soldier back then was sent out on a mission to assassinate his parents, not Tony's parents, but Zemo's parents. So he has a grudge specifically against Zemo. I'm sorry, specifically against Bucky. But then by extension also against all super soldiers.
Is a super soldier.
Because Bucky killed his parents.
Well, no, but I'm like,
and also
the reason why it extends super soldiers because
Bucky's a super soldier. So not only was he a victim from a super soldier, but also as a soldier himself, he feels like it's really unfair to use enhanced people in the wars.
And so he wanted to have them fight, and basically the idea was if they all fought each other, they would kill each other off.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He wasn't a fan of the 4 Winter Soldiers either. He was just hoping that they'd all kill each other off and all die. Basically.
Exactly. So then, after he's Zemo has told them his entire plan, they've captured Zemo, all of this has happened. Black Widow now gets a call from Maria Hill about a potential 5th soldier called Vangaurd.
Yeah. So Maria Hill has been trying to decrypt all the files from that Hydra shield base in DC still, and this is where how she finds out about the Vangaurd. So essentially, Vangaurd, Maria Hill lets him know that all the other 4 super soldiers that just fought were older iterations that were out of commission for years and years, whereas Vangaurd was made a little more recently. So he's in a separate compound entirely. They use more like Hydra and shield tech and science to make him. And he's a shield creation. So he's not made by Hydra. He's actually made by shield. And we want to make it where he's actually Fury's earliest attempt at making like an Avengers type initiative.
Yeah, so before Iron Man became a thing in 2005.
Yeah.
This is what Fury was trying to whip up. Because remember, Fury was trying to protect people. And so this was his original idea.
So, Iron Man coming around was great for him because he could just, realize he could recruit people who already are enhanced. But before he knew that it existed, he was trying to make an enhanced being. And Vangaurd was his attempt at that. So while the other 4 super soldiers were all fully Hydra, this was originally a Nick Fury shield creation that we say Hydra. Then after Nick Fury took on Iron Man and everything, all in the Avengers, Hydra continued his work on Vangaurd, and specifically Pierce from Winter Soldier. He kind of continued plans to update Vangaurd, and so he's like really modern technology and really modern, like he's really updated with all like the powers and whatnot. So. He's like a super huge threat compared to the 4.
So this one's going to be a lot harder to deal with than the last 4 they just dispatched. Right?
Yes, yeah, because this guy, he has he's much stronger than any of the Winter Soldiers, and he also has kind of like that Hydra exosuit that they were wearing in Ultron. He's like a modified version of that, which even further enhances his abilities, gives him invisibility. So he's very much a more formidable threat to them.
Right.
Yeah.
But no one knows where he is.
Yeah, no one knows where he is. So there's multiple. Vanguard's basically now he's not when Zemo activated those 4 Winter Soldiers in Siberia, he also unknowingly activated Vangaurd in a different compound.
Yeah, they're kept on that same protocol.
Yeah, same protocol, so it activates all of them, but it's in a physical different location. Because it's a newer compound that he was made in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So now Vangaurd isn't under the control of Zemo because Zemo's under arrest now, and Zemo wasn't there to give him orders. So Vanguard's basically like a rabid dog, just going around with whatever protocols and training he has and instincts he has. Really, he's just doing like bombing places, assassinations. He's just kind
chaos.
of going.
Chaos has started to happen. So while they're all getting still at this still in Siberia, still taking in the information Maria Hill's just given him, news is already breaking out that havoc is being wreaked around the world.
Because he's been awake for probably at least an hour or 2 now at this point, probably maybe more. So he's been kind of just going around.
Yeah. So how long, as all this is happening, and then sooner or later, Sharon and Maria, they track him down.
Yeah.
They do. They finally track him down.
They triangulate all the different things going on. They figure out where he probably is, and that is in the St. Petersburg dock, the shipyard.
Yeah. So he's in Russia, but right, St. Petersburg is in Russia, right? Yeah. Okay. So and then now, the final fight happens at the St. Petersburg shipyard.
Yep.
So I'll let Bobby go ahead and give some fighting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just going to be like a super big fight scene. We're going to have it just where it's still Captain America, Bucky, Falcon, and Black Widow.
Yeah, we're keeping it just
them
Winter Soldier.
Because they're going straight from Siberia to there, this isn't an Avengers movie, so we want to keep it a little more localized.
Right.
So it's me, like a just really big fight scene. We really like the idea of having them, a final fight scene with just one bad guy. Because I feel like Ultron already did the Horde. And like Avengers 1 even, there's always the entire alien army. I think it's nice to have a few Avengers focus on one guy. So they'll just use a bunch of, I feel like Falcon might be good at revealing him through his invisibility. And then you have Bucky and Cap being the more physical imposing ones to kind of beat down on him a little bit. I don't know how they're going to eventually get the jump on him and beat him, honestly, but
what all makes it all so much more difficult is the landscape of all the different containers and everything. All the
exactly.
ships and
So
all that.
when they were fighting the 4 super soldiers, it was in a very closed off, like, that Siberia compound. So they were able to just kind of corner them and just beat on them and, kill them, basically. Whereas this guy, he already has the element of surprise. He has the ability to cloak. He knows how to set traps. He knows how to be a little more strategic, and he already has the time to do that. So he's like really has the advantage at this point. So it's really hard for them to beat him, but eventually they do, obviously.
And eventually, Captain America's shield is what takes him out.
It's gonna have to be
right?
shield, yeah. Captain America's shield, yeah.
Yeah, so because otherwise he's not gonna be able to get through his armor, the guy's armor. So eventually, Captain America's shield takes him out. The big pow scene happens, and the Vanguard gets taken down finally.
That's right. Yeah.
So now we finally wrapped up the 5 Winter Soldiers. The 5th one they did not know about.
Yeah, Vanguard was the 5th one in this one. So.
And so finally, the Captain America fight scenes have ended.
Yep.
And now Captain America and Sharon go on the date. It's cute, it's nice, but it's very awkward. They don't know what to do with each other, really.
Yeah. It's not... They're not really at the point that they are at in Civil War yet, which I think will make that transition a little more natural in Civil War when they do see each other at Peggy's funeral. And, the kiss is out of nowhere, I don't think.
Yeah.
At this point. And we're also going to have it where, they're going to mention that Bucky is still a danger. And he's still technically a criminal. So he's going to be kept at the Avengers compound, so he's not a danger to himself or to others, because they have him basically on house arrest, and all the Avengers are there to keep an eye on him. So, because Bucky still clearly is, can fall victim to brainwashing still. Like we just saw in the, Joint Terrorism Task Force scene. So now Captain America gets to have, actually, the ability to spend time with Bucky, not just jump from fight to fight with him and then, have him go to Wakanda. It's in this one, he's able to have him around. So to focus on that, we're going to have it ending with a nice scene between them, this, getting some popcorn ready and setting up an old movie from like the 40s together, from their childhood. Yeah,
because we were thinking about it, and like you said, there's not many scenes between Bucky and Captain America actually becoming being friends.
Being friends in the modern day.
We hear they're friends all the time. We saw them in a few scenes in the first movie, but we don't really see it any more afterwards.
Yeah, it's all action,
and
which isn't good.
And I thought it was an important thing to do because, like Bobby, when we were younger, one of the things he told me about Marvel is the reason why he liked Marvel more than DC. DC fans, come get us. Is because he always liked that Marvel was more about the person underneath the mask. And I feel like this is something that a lot of the Avengers movies sometimes miss out on.
Yeah.
And I think Black Widow's character, Hawkeye's character, a lot of them do actually hit those marks.
Yeah.
Where it's more about like the human behind everything going on. And this kind of scene would show it where it's like, Captain America's Captain America.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate human.
But he still wants his best friend to just hang out with him.
Yeah. And he's all, like the man out of time, so it's nice to have him actually be able to spend time with his friend from the past. And then...
That's it. Roll credits.
Roll credits, and then
the credits roll, and then of course you have to have the after credits scene, and the after credits scene is the news going crazy about Sokovia and implicating that the government needs to do something about the out of control Avengers after what had happened with Ultron, and then that's it. That sets up Civil War.
Avengers Civil War.
Avengers Civil War.
Yeah, which is our other video.
And that's it for this one. We kind of kept this one a little bit shorter and make it a little flow a little bit better.
Yep.
Justifications every now and then, but hopefully you guys like this and we can do more of these, creating stories and stuff like that. And
yeah. Catch you in the next one.